I'm gonna talk to you about my relationship with a boy. We started as friends. We met at college. We didn't really interact except from three until 3 months into college, and then I had a crush on him. He knew that. Everybody knew that. I asked him out about a few times. Well, you gotta excuse me because I wanted to date until then, so I was fresh to everything. And his friend said he loved me even though he didn't, just to get me to go to his party because his girlfriend won't go unless I go, and I wasn't allowed to go. And that just upset me because it were a lie, and I've had people mess me about my whole life. I didn't want it again. So this boy from my high school started coming to college with school, and he reminded me I had a crush on somebody else when I left high school, and that didn't work out either. And it just really upset me. And that boy that I dated after he dated somebody else, well, he comforted me. He said, "Don't listen to him." Then he started messing with me and then turning me upside down in a lift, which was weird and scary at the same time. So then it got to where after Christmas and his friend got dumped by the girl, and that didn't end well. Then they both asked me if they could date one another, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I probably date you. Realise that he don't really want you, and then yeah, I can, because this boy were easy to read, as it is to read instructions on a recipe or something. So then I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. They dated for 2 months. She was ill most of that time, and he's like flirting with me, and he's texting me a lot, and I'm like, I went to my nana, who's no longer with us. I'm like, he keeps on texting me, but he's got a girlfriend. What the hell? So I'm like trying not to encourage that, and then by the time she was better, they agreed to be just friends because they didn't talk as much, and she didn't really interact with him much after they agreed to date. So it got to our work experience, and he's flirting with me. He's putting his hand up my back. So I thought it was good. I rested my head on his shoulder and thought everything well might want me now. So he walked me to my bus stop from to go home from town, and then I tell his ex, my friend, and she's like, "Oh, do you want me to ask him?" And she asked him, I asked him, and he said no, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And so just go on with him flirting with me, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm cutting my hair off. I just had enough. So it got to June, and we had to finish some work, just me, him, and his friend who dated his ex. And I was like so confused by them. And then I invited him to go to this cricket club that I always go to, and that began our relationship, but not with confirmative until like Tuesday afterwards by me tricking him into asking me out with my brother's Facebook. So yeah, and we dated until this October, last October I meant, and he were there for me, but not really there for me. He didn't have any advice. He just comforted me and said everything's gonna get better. But really, I wanted him to like discuss these problems that we're having and my nana dying and all sorts. But he had barely out to go on, and he didn't give me advice. He didn't say out. He just said everything's gonna be better. Just focus on the positive. And our relationship was a bit, I don't know what the word would be, because he could get away with things that he would tell me off for, and when he were wrong and he don't notice it is wrong, he goes off on one. He like runs out of my house and like runs off, and I'm like running after it, and I'm like, what the hell? And like, if I'm wrong, I just be quiet and don't carry on the conversation. And then we had odd fights, just about stupid things, really. And then I was totally there to help him get a job, and with his mum's abusive boyfriend, and he's smoking, I got him stop smoking, and then I helped him get better with understanding things and doing things. And basically, I helped him a lot, and he really didn't really help me as much as I helped him get better at being a person. And that's where we struggled, because I needed somebody to be there to talk through things and have somebody to bounce off her, and he just wasn't doing it. And then it just really got really hard, because he would act one way in front of me and my siblings and cousins, and then he acted a totally different way in front of adults. And it just like really confused me, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Last year, I was ill. I was anemic for 3 months, and I didn't know, because I didn't understand when I would be anemic and what it means to have symptoms of it. So it got to 3 months and I wasn't getting any better, so I went to doctors, and they're like, oh, maybe your anemia is coming back, blah blah blah. Hospital says no, and then it refers me. I had to wait 18 weeks, and I'm like going crazy them 18 weeks, because they weren't even 18 weeks. I had to wait until September the 9th, and I was absolutely going crazy. He's working all the time. I have nobody to talk to who really understands. They're just telling me to exercise, do things, and it's okay. And I'm like, no, it ain't, because I'm getting headaches and my arms and my legs stiffing up and all sorts. I thought I had cancer, and I'm like going through all these things and in my head and online, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? And because we weren't seeing each other as much, because when we don't see each other as much, he's funny with me. He's like off base, like not normal with me as he would be if he saw me most of the time. So because I was off funny because of being ill, It's like, it goes to my sister because I'm arguing with him and shouting at him more because I'm like confused, and he's moaning and he's groaning and I'm bitching about work and stuff, and I'm like, what are you bitching about? My life's shit right now, and you're just bitching to me and moaning at me and making me feel more horrible for not having to work or out. So my sister went. He asked my sister, was like, why is she being this way? And she's like, because she's sick and she don't understand what's going on. And he's like, okay. And don't tell your sister I asked you out. She should not hurt me, but I'm like, if he really knew me, he knows that I like truth and like straightforward with me, because if you got a problem with me, just say it. I'm not that sort of person who shout at you just because you say something about me because I'm male and I want to have a go at you, you know. So he's hardly seeing me, and when we call each other, I'm knackered, and he's like, oh, relax and go to sleep, and now I love you, and I'm like, I want to talk to you. What's wrong with you? I want to talk. I want to keep conversation going. And he's like, just go to sleep, relax. And I don't hear out from him. And then I get a big text saying how wonderful these years have been. And we don't feel the same anymore. And I know it too. But I shot off my chair and ran up my granddad's stairs and started crying my eyes out. I'm like, what is he on about? I don't even have a clue, because I really don't feel the same, and I ended up riding around on buses trying to get to him, but he's like, oh, I'm off somewhere with my cousin to help her, and I'm like, but what about me? You're dumping me over text, even though we've been together for 4 years, and you're just like not wanting to explain fully. He's saying it's because we're arguing and we're doing this and doing that, and I'm like, yeah, we've been doing that since we started dating. I'm like, but when you argued and shouted at me, I didn't dump you, I just worked through it with you. So I'm like running about, couldn't get to him, so I went to my nana's grave, and I'm like crying to my nana, my cousin, not fun, because he recently got dumped as well, so I'm like wanting somebody who knows how I'm feeling to talk to. So I went there, felt my nana tell me he's a silly idiot and hugging me, and I was like, I've had enough. I got home, my dad went in, my mum were in, and my sister were in, and my eldest brother were in, my eldest younger brother were in, and I'm like, I don't want to see this shit that he bought me, making me sad, making me more depressed, more anxiety and more sad than I really was at the time. So I'm like putting it all in a black bag, and I'm like messaging him all the time, like, when do you want your stuff? When are you gonna explain this more? And trying to get a view on what he was feeling and doing. And like asking his mum, where do you think this is coming from? And he's like, why are you getting my mum involved? I'm like, why don't you just talk to me and then I wouldn't have to talk to your mum? And he's like, I'm working. I'm like, I know you're working, but you dumped me, remember? And you haven't explained it freaking properly. So what do you expect from me? So we wait. It was a few weeks after that, and he's like, oh, can we come and meet and swap our stuff, meet me at Corner Exchange over the internet? I text him saying I don't have internet on my phone when I'm about to leave to meet him. And I get home, and I get there, and I'm like, where is he? And he won't, explicit which part of Corner Exchange, because there's like the bus stops and then the Corner Exchange building So I was there waiting for him, and then I see this bus go round. I think it's him with his cousin, and I'm like, no, it probably ain't. Block it out. Then they go over, sit in front of the building, and I'm like, is that him? Am I sure? I don't want to go over if it ain't him, and I've got this big bag of stuff. So I left it a few minutes, and then I walk over, dump stuff, and he's like, are you alright? And I'm like, no, not really. I got fibromyalgia, I've got heartburn, something, and anxiety, and nobody, and now you're dumping me, and I don't really understand. Why are you doing this? I don't really understand. And then I got this, you dumping me, and he's like, I know. Cowering to his cousin. I'm like, we were allowed to bring people. Because I had no clue, because obviously he's deleted my number. Because he would have noticed that I texted him saying I got no internet. So I just walk off saying, I said, is that it? Walked off as fast as I can, tears streaming down my face. I'm like, I'm not letting him see it. I'm walking off. I'm like panicking. I've got a little panic attack coming on, and I'm like walking all the way to 56 because I thought it would divert because of an incident. And I'm like walking off really fast, crying and panicking, and I'm like calling my mum. I'm like, he showed up with his cousin, and he didn't really explain, and he's like not even emotional to me. He's just like cowering to his cousin, into his cousin's arm, and I'm like, and she's like, okay, calm down. Obviously, he wasn't gonna be the person to tell you all, and he's an idiot anyway. So just calm down, go home. And I'm like calming down a little, and I had a drink. I calmed down, and then I got a bus to go home. I stopped by one of my aunties to just talk it over with them because talk it over with her because I'm like, I can't go to the job centre and like just smile and go, yeah, I'll do this, yeah, I'll do that. When I'm like, I just want to grow up and cry. So it's like, I talked through with her. I was late for job centre a bit, and I explained I had to meet my ex for stuff, and it wasn't pleasant. And that were it. And ever since, I've had no clue why he did what he did, or what actually happened, because I've had a memory problems, and I can't remember anything unless it's triggered by a word, or if we're talking about the same thing or a similar thing, or somebody says something. So it's been really hard. It's been 3 months, and it's got to the stage where I'm okay with it, but just still questioning some things that in that final year, because last time I slept at his house, his mum's sneaking into his room when she noticed there's 2 pairs of legs, and I'm like, why did she do that? You know, why did he bring his cousin? Did he really think I'm gonna hurt him, even though I didn't understand what was going on? And if he did know me, knows that I won't just lash out because I didn't understand, because I changed that years ago. So I'm really confused. I'm really, really sad for them few weeks after meeting up. But I'm on to bigger, better things. I'm getting healthier, I'm getting fitter, and my mental health is getting better, and I'm just getting better altogether. I just got to work out how to handle my fibromyalgia, and that's it. So thanks for listening to it. I just really needed to get off my chest. So this was about my ex and our relationship and how it ended. Thank you.